In the waning years of my life, within the musty confines of an ancestral home bequeathed to me through generations long past, I stumbled upon a discovery most unsettling. Hidden beneath the floorboards of what I had always considered to be just another room in the sprawling manor, a collection of letters, yellowed by time and bearing the weight of forgotten secrets, called out to me from the depths of history. My great-grandfather, Jonathan Alcott, a name spoken in hushed tones and accompanied by a shroud of mystery, suddenly became a figure of immeasurable intrigue. The Alcott family, my lineage, has always been shadowed by enigmatic tales and whispers of occult dealings, secrets buried deep within the folds of time, eluding the grasp of those who sought the truth. The sudden and mysterious passing of Jonathan Alcott had left a void filled only with speculation and the faintest echoes of dread. The discovery of these letters, penned in a hand that trembled with both excitement and fear, promised to unravel the enigma that has loomed over my family's history like a spectre. As I sat in the dim light of the study, the shadows cast by the flickering candle seemed to dance with a macabre glee, as if anticipating the revelations to come. With a deep breath, I unfolded the first letter, and thus began my journey into the abyss, guided by the words of a man who had stared into the void, and perhaps found it staring back. The letters, a correspondence between my great-grandfather and his confidant, Mr. Edward Bancroft, spun a tale of cosmic horror and forbidden knowledge that far surpassed any lore that had circulated within the family. They spoke of a tome, the Codex Obscurum, of ancient rites, and of a being known only as the Dark Watcher, whose gaze reached from the spaces between the stars to ensnare the minds of those who dared uncover its existence. What follows is the account of Jonathan Alcott's descent into a world beyond the confines of human understanding, a narrative pieced together through the fragmented legacy he left behind. A legacy of darkness, of insatiable curiosity, and of a truth so profound and terrifying that it could unravel the very fabric of reality. And so, with a heart both eager and heavy with dread, I began to read. From Mr. Jonathan Alcott, Providence, Rhode Island, to Mr. Edward Bancroft, Arkham, Massachusetts, June 5th, 1920. Dearest Edward, I hope this letter finds you in good health and spirits, despite the sweltering summer that has descended upon us. I am writing, post-haste, in regards to a peculiar matter that has come to my attention. It concerns a tome I acquired from a recent estate sale of the late Professor Armitage, one which, to my dismay, is written in a language not entirely unknown yet unfathomably archaic. Accompanying the volume was a collection of notes, most disturbing to my rational mind, speaking of celestial alignments and ancient rites performed under the guise of darkness. It seems the professor had, in his final days, become obsessed with a cult of most nefarious reputation. Whispers in town speak of their devotion to an entity that dwells in the void between stars, known only as the Dark Watcher. I write to you, my friend, for your expertise in esoteric matters far surpasses my own. Your guidance in this delicate matter would be most appreciated. Yours in earnest anticipation, Jonathan Alcott. From Mr. Edward Bancroft, Arkham, Massachusetts, to Mr. Jonathan Alcott, Providence, Rhode Island, June 10th, 1920. My dear Jonathan, your missive arrived, and I must confess it has cast a most unsettling pall over my study this eve. The volume you speak of, if it is the one I suspect, may very well be the Codex Obscurum, a work I believe to be apocryphal. It is said that its pages hold knowledge of things both ancient and cosmic, that ought to remain beyond the realm of man's understanding. The Dark Watcher you mentioned is no mere myth. I've encountered hushed references to this entity in the forgotten corners of the Miskatonic University's library, a being that is said to observe from the boundless night, influencing the minds of the susceptible through dreams of unspeakable clarity and terror. I urge you, tread carefully, Jonathan. Some truths are better left unearthed. I shall endeavour to visit you post-haste to examine this enigma in person. With a weighted heart, Edward Bancroft. From Mr. Jonathan Alcott, Providence, Rhode Island, to Mr. Edward Bancroft, Arkham, Massachusetts, June 15th, 1920. Dearest Edward, since dispatching my last correspondence, a series of nocturnal occurrences have befallen me. Each night, as I surrender to sleep, visions of an eldritch city beneath the sea plague my dreams, cyclopean structures overshadowed by the titanic silhouette of the Dark Watcher. Its malevolent gaze pierces through the very fabric of my being, leaving an indelible mark upon my soul. The townsfolk have grown wary of my inquiries, and I fear I am being followed by figures cloaked in the anonymity of night. The cult you warned me of may be closer than we dared imagine. I eagerly await your arrival, for I feel the sands of my sanity slipping through the hourglass ever more rapidly. In desperation, Jonathan Alcott. From Mr. Edward Bancroft, Arkham, Massachusetts, to Mr. Jonathan Alcott, Providence, Rhode Island, June 18th, 1920. Jonathan, I have received your alarming letter, and I fear for your safety. The visions you describe are not mere dreams, they are the callings of the Dark Watcher. I have uncovered accounts of an ancient city, Rilia, which lies submerged, where the Dark Watcher is said to slumber, waiting for the stars to align. The cult's influence is far-reaching, and they may perceive your knowledge of the Codex as a threat. I implore you to send the book to me at once, for safekeeping. I have secured a means to protect such artifacts from prying eyes. Do not delay, Jonathan. Our time may be running out, and I dread what might happen should we fail to act swiftly against the encroaching darkness. With utmost urgency, Edward Bancroft. From Mr. Jonathan Alcott, Providence, Rhode Island, to Mr. Edward Bancroft, Arkham, Massachusetts, June 21st, 1920. My dearest Edward, under cover of night, and with a heart encased in dread, I dispatched the Codex to your care. The air itself feels thick with anticipation, or perhaps it is my own trepidation that weighs heavily upon my chest. The Watcher's gaze, ever persistent, haunts not just my dreams but my waking moments. Its followers, the silent sentinels of this ancient horror, move ever closer. I am resolved to confront this creeping fate directly. Tonight I shall attend an assembly clandestinely held at a derelict wharf, rumoured to be a congregation of the cult. I am compelled to learn of their intentions, to peer into the abyss they so revere, before this darkness swallows me whole. Pray for me, Edward. Should I not return, you must continue our work and ensure that such eldritch knowledge does not consume our world. In the company of shadows, Jonathan Alcott. From Mr. Edward Bancroft, Arkham, Massachusetts, to Mrs. Elizabeth Alcott, Providence, Rhode Island, July 20th, 1920. Dear Mrs. Alcott, it is with a heavy heart and profound sadness that I extend to you my deepest condolences for the loss of your esteemed husband, Jonathan. The news of his passing has left a void in the hearts of all who knew him, a testament to the remarkable man he was. In these trying times, I find solace in cherishing the memories of our endeavours, guided by his unwavering pursuit of knowledge and his noble spirit. Jonathan's contributions to our shared field of study were immense, and his absence will be deeply felt. Within this letter, I've included instructions that Jonathan and I deemed crucial for safeguarding certain sensitive discoveries we made together. I urge you to follow them meticulously for the protection of all concerned. Please accept, dear madam, the assurance of my most respectful sympathy during this difficult period. If there is any assistance or further explanation I can provide, do not hesitate to reach out. Yours sincerely, Edward Bancroft. As I carefully refold the aged letters and place them back into their secret crevice beneath the floorboards, a profound sense of unease settles over me, heavier than the dust that blankets this ancient study. The whispers of the past, now given voice through these written words, seem to linger in the air, charged with an ominous energy that I cannot dismiss. Since uncovering the correspondence between my great-grandfather, Jonathan Alcott, and his confidant, Edward Bancroft, the shadows within this manor seem to press closer, imbued with a watchful presence. It is as though the mere act of reading those letters has drawn the gaze of something vast and incomprehensible, something that dwells in the spaces between the stars, just as it once haunted Jonathan's dreams. Night brings no solace. Sleep is a realm of restless visions. The eldritch city beneath the sea, with its cyclopean structures and the titanic silhouette of the Dark Watcher, invades my dreams, its malevolence seeping into the waking world. A sense of impending doom, as if the alignment of celestial bodies might once again awaken ancient horrors, keeps me vigilant. I find myself peering over my shoulder, searching the corners of my vision for movement where there should be none. The air feels charged, heavy with anticipation for an event that lurks just beyond the horizon of understanding. The cult, the Codex Obscurum, and the Dark Watcher. It seems their story is not confined to the past, but is an ever-unfolding narrative in which I have unwittingly become a character. In the quiet moments, when the candle flickers and the wind whispers secrets to the ancient walls of this manor, I ponder the wisdom of my great-grandfather's pursuit of knowledge. Some truths, hidden in the darkness between the stars, are meant to remain there, undisturbed. Yet here I am, drawn into the same inexorable quest, facing the same abyss that once claimed Jonathan Alcott. As I pen this account, a record of discoveries and dread, I cannot shake the feeling that I am not alone, that I am observed not by eyes of flesh, but by something other, something ancient and unyielding. The letters, their secrets unearthed, have set into motion events that cannot be undone. I am left to wonder, as my great-grandfather surely did, whether the light of knowledge is worth the shadow it casts. And so, the legacy of the Alcott family continues, a narrative intertwined with cosmic horror and the relentless pursuit of forbidden truths. What lies ahead, I cannot say, but the path is set, and I must follow it, wherever it may lead, into the darkness that waits with eternal patience. The end.